Okay, open the meeting at 6:30. This meeting's being recorded. Start with Dana Jr.
Sure. Yep, my name's Dana Jr. I'm here at 6:30 as requested by the board.
Okay? What's this about?
This is about 24 Hickory Road. It's a system that Mr. Jr., I believe, did the original plan work on this. Am I correct?
Correct.
And when he submitted his as-built, and I'll submit this to the board. When he submitted the as-built, he didn't submit the as-built correctly. The as-built was submitted on 8.5 by 11s. It wasn't submitted pursuant to our regulations, if I'm correct. And it did not bear a wet stamp. I know I discussed it with you on the phone, and as of now, we still do not have a full-size plan. I understand some of the predicaments with your father, but when I look at that particular plan and look at that wet stamp, it appears to me to be copied from another one. So this is, and I'll let the other board members review it. So this is kind of water over the dam. The system was installed. It was inspected. I just want to make it clear that we're not going to be accepting that type of plans again with wet stamps that are, well, it's not even a wet stamp. I mean, you can look from the both stamps, it appears that they were overlaid on another plan. So I just want you to be aware that we're aware of that. So that's why I asked that your installers and inspectors permit be held until you come in, whether you want to address this or if it's water over the dam, but I just want to let you know that we know that something wrong happened on this particular project.
Okay? Anything to say? Anything to say?
Nope.
Okay.
Okay. We can handle, is his permit on here? No, it's
Well,
not.
he currently has his Title V permit with us. And you want to get the installers?
I think I have an application in now for the Title V inspectors, and I would like my installers as well. Thank you.
Then on this,
They're not on here, John,
It's not
so
in today.
she can add it on to the next agenda.
if your paperwork's in, I don't know. The paper, if your paperwork's all in,
All the appropriate paperwork, yes.
all right, well, it's not on this agenda.
Yeah, it's not on this agenda, so we can't vote for it. I didn't realize it was coming in. I would have had her add it because there's no question we'll issue the permit. I just wanted him to be aware that we know what
Okay.
happened there, so.
All right.
At our next meeting, we'll approve your applications for installers and Title V inspectors.
Thank you. Is my presence required at that time?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for coming in.
Okay. You're welcome. All good? Thank you.
That's it. Thank you. Okay. 54 Pine Street North. Waiting on revisions, have they?
The revisions have come in. We went back and forth with this on the review process. I'm comfortable with all the modifications that were changed. Bob reviewed the numbers. Bob, maybe you can fill him in on this.
Yeah, all the nitrogen loading numbers were fine. A couple of things that I'd like to see before I would issue the certificate of compliance would be an actual floor plan for the building. This is going to have a 2-bedroom deed restriction, and until I see a floor plan for that, then I need to know how many bedrooms it actually
Okay.
has.
Have you spoken with the owners?
No. No.
I don't know if the owners are...
I believe you
The
guys might be associated with that. Exactly. The plan's fine, it's just a matter of them showing me that sketch. I'd actually need to see proof of the water service.
Okay.
There is a line.
Is this your property?
Yeah.
Okay, can you address this?
Proof of what?
Just proof of water service. It shows a proposed water line on the plan. All you have to do is file with the water department that they're putting in water. If not, you do have a well on the property. But that would, I just need to know where the water's coming from. And the building department actually won't approve your building permit until they know that there is water service, so. It's just to, not to slow you down, it's more to help you out through it, you know?
Right, but it could be a well or town.
Yeah, with the well, you do have 109 feet, if I remember the plan right. So, you should be okay on that. And then you already knew about a 2-bedroom deed restriction and the maintenance contract for your nitrogen loading, so.
Okay.
Well, those are
Septic
the only
design,
things.
that's okay?
Septic tanks, fine.
Okay. So we want to approve these?
Yeah, I'm okay with it. The state make a motion on it.
Yeah, I would like to motion to approve the plan for the current conditions. Floor plan provided to the Board of Health prior to issuance of permit. Proof of potable water. And a maintenance agreement for the fast system. As well as the 2-bedroom deed restriction.
Okay, you can second it, because I'm going to abstain.
Okay, I'll second that. All right.
All in
All in
favor?
favor? Aye?
Aye.
And you're
And I'll
abstaining?
abstain.
One abstain. Okay. All right, 268 Thompson Street. Again, waiting on revisions from the...
Revisions
You're good.
came in
Yeah,
today.
thank you.
Thank you.
Revisions came in, I don't know if the board wants to look at this plan, but it's T.E. Elliott's old house. Revisions were fairly substantial. Bob, I did not look at the review. Did the review, was there anything different coming in on the review?
The only thing was, they showed in the upper sketch, filter fabric over the entire system, but they didn't write over the entire system.
So that's,
But the rest of the stuff,
I believe though, John, I think there's a variance.
there should be,
I think it's the depth of color. Steve, I don't know if you want to look at the plan.
What's that?
I don't know if you want to look.
Yes, please.
Okay. Once we look at that, I'll use one of the other plans to motion. Okay. Yeah, I double checked it and it looked like it was
Yeah.
fine.
I just want to double check, because I thought that would have had a variance too.
The variance on 4?
On 268, but there wasn't.
There is a variance on 260.
Oh, good.
Yeah. If my memory's correct, it's depth to soil, and it's a groundwater separation.
Yep. 4.68 instead of 5, I think.
Yeah, 4.8. I'll let them review it and then we'll go from there.
Why is it so deep?
Gravity, I believe. If you look at the existing structure, you've got septic coming out of the front section of the house. You've got septic coming out of the crawl space, and then you have an additional septic tank coming out of the crawl space
Okay.
on the easterly side and westerly side. So they're connecting or installing 2 new septic tanks. I'm sorry.
No.
No, they're installing one new septic
One,
tank,
two,
abandoning.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to be, wow. 5 well, 1, 2, 3, 4 cesspools
Yeah,
So, yeah.
and another tank.
correct. And you can see the cesspools are everywhere.
A lot of plumbing fun right there.
Yeah.
All right, so we okay with the,
Yeah, I had a half a dozen, 9 comments that they completed. Review engineer had, I don't know how many comments. So I'm okay. I'd make a motion to approve the septic plan for 268 Johnson Street with the following reductions in the maximum feasible compliance to allow the septic system to be more than 36 inches below the surface, and 2, to allow a groundwater separation of 4.8 feet instead of the required 5 feet.
Second.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Our administrative assistant, Margaret Selter, annual evaluation.
Yeah, who filled that out anyways?
Peggy?
With the help of her former boss and myself, we were able to come to a decision. Just, it's every year, normal process.
Okay. Any comments?
No, I've read the evaluation. I agree with it 100%, you know.
I agree as well, I went through it.
I think all of us talk to Peggy 2 or 3 times a week, and she's always more than helpful, so we would agree
Fine
with
job.
the
Okay.
evaluation. I don't believe you need a vote or anything, mate. You just
No,
want to present.
no, it's just to bring
Oh, okay,
that we've
fine.
done our job. Under discussion items, it just came up the other day, and we had spoken at a maybe not the last meeting, but the meeting before. The residents of 63 Palmer Street are in need of septic repair, and they just wanted to ask the board the potential for them to be able to get a loan through the town. So I said that they could just at least stop in, say hello, and make it
Okay.
be known that, so if you want to introduce yourselves and...
Bob, I'd probably want to take caution on this, unless John waits to make a statement that he's going to allow some discussion based on the fact that it's not on the agenda. If he has knowledge of it prior, then we can allow the discussion. Obviously, we can't take a vote.
No vote at all.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of legwork that they still would have to do.
Okay.
Even that would require us to vote on it.
Okay.
So at least this way, it puts the ball in motion for them to be able to do, even know if there's an option out there. Okay. And for you to know what they're about.
I believe we made that option available. This is Mrs.
Parks.
Okay, right. Yeah, I think I was at your place many, many years ago.
Years and years ago.
Years ago. I believe we sent you out something in the mail indicating that potentially we could have some funds available through our grant program. Since then, didn't we have somebody else come in?
Yes, but they turned down the loan.
They turned down the loan?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I do know from, now I'm starting to learn a lot more about this, that it was turned down because I guess the terms of the town loan, payment-wise, are significantly higher than any other way of going.
Okay.
Like 2 or 3 times the amount.
Having said that, then, I knew we do have some funds available, and there is a process that you have to follow. We might have to go to the last one to get those procedures, because I believe, A, we need to check with the town accountant to see how much funds are available.
Right.
B, there's not, to my recollection, there's not a big application process, but I believe that you're going to be required to get 3 quotes on engineering, and then you're gonna have to get 3 quotes on the septic install itself.
That's right.
You're not in a position to take necessarily the lowest quote. That's a decision that you have to make, but I think the guidelines, these were set many, many years ago when the money came in. Those, I believe, are the guidelines. So, if there isn't any dibs on that money, I guess my suggestion would be to get the process started. Bob, you're gonna have to defer maybe to the last file to see if she needs to do some sort of an application.
Yeah, I was able to provide them with that. They just wanted to come in and see if there was any potential for it, because they've exhausted other avenues, so.
Yeah, I do know if you talk to Peggy, she'll be able to give you kind of an idea of the payment schedule,
We did.
stuff like that.
I think we did that.
I
think
did.
I had her send you something.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I didn't realize we'd already gotten that far.
Well, this has been up for discussion for a while, and I do recall speaking to Peggy about it and said, well, look at, I think I threw an estimated number out there, it might have been like a $30,000 number.
Yeah, I believe you did, yeah.
And that number would have translated into X amount of dollars in your taxes, just
Yes.
so that you had some idea as to what it's gonna cost you to make sure it
And
was.
how it's going to be paid back and everything. That's, I think, one of the main things was using a betterment loan allows me to pay it back once a year, and it looked doable to me.
Okay.
Where I'm on Social Security, I mean, that's it. But this one, everybody in Halifax taxes are insane, but I managed to get them up every year, and this seemed like doable, harder, but doable. I could see myself doing it. I don't know how I pull off a monthly loan through a bank. I don't even know if they give me one because of my income, you know? I have no idea. And I feel more comfortable if I'm able to do through the town and do it this way. I think it's just something I could see actually being able to happen, you know?
Okay. I would just, like I say, Bob can give you a list Bob can provide you, or Peggy can provide you with a list of the engineer. Do you have a list of engineers or just
Oh, yeah.
installers? We'll give you some names of engineers, contact them. I know you got some issues out there with the stream and the brook and all that other stuff.
Yep. Yep.
But those engineers will give you an estimate as to what it would cost to do your design.
Okay.
That would be the first step.
I think another concern I do have is, this is a subject I know absolutely nothing about. So I've got to find 3 engineers to come up and whatever, you know. Is there anybody that isn't going to be a conflict of interest that I could go to for advice if I have questions? I don't know if...
You can always talk to the board.
Yeah,
You
you
can
can
call
always-
Bob. Bob can give you
It's not
advice.
going to be a conflict of interest if I have questions and go, oh, you know.
No,
That's the...
You know, feel free. You can always reach out to Bob, and if he's got a question, he'll sometimes reach out to me. We can help you with we can't tell you who to hire for an engineer. Obviously, that engineer has to bring that plan in front of the board. I don't see it being any sort of a Cadillac-type plan. So as long as the engineer designs what he feels comfortable, it's not what we feel, what he feels comfortable,
Right.
then obviously we'd approve it. The other thing that the engineer has to know too is that there's going to be a wetlands filing along with that. But you can start, and Bob, if you don't mind.
We can start tomorrow morning. You know, just give me a buzz. We just, you know, mostly they were here to see if, in fact, they met the need for the loan. Because if you don't meet the need for the loan, you don't even go any further.
I mean,
Well, there's a need for the loan.
there's been one for about 10 years.
Yeah,
So,
I believe we checked to make sure we had funds available. Oh, no.
right,
We just had one that sold, so then we should have got that money back.
we did.
Okay, so if we got that money back, so we do have some funds
We
available.
do have the money, the money's there, the process can go through, but first they just needed to know that in fact, they were a potential candidate for it. That's why they're here tonight.
Do you mind or object to just providing her with a very small scope of work for the engineer? Basically, it's going to be performing percolation tests, filing the appropriate conservation applications, Board of Health regulations, and that sort of stuff.
Right.
That would be kind of a scope of work which you could give to all of your engineers and say, okay, this is kind of what I need. If you think I need something else, please add it. But you're going to call up and say, I need a price on my septic system. And everybody's... Yeah, okay. Bob will assist you on that.
How long is that process? And do you know, Bob?
Excuse me?
Start to finish on that process, the financial aspect of it? Is that a fairly quick process, do you know?
I honestly don't know.
Okay, I'm just curious.
What do you mean by financial aspect?
Yeah, she comes in, she applies tomorrow. How long does it generally take before funds are given and system can start? I mean, is this like a 3-week process or a 6-month?
I would think with her situation out there that it's probably a 120-day process if she started next week. So if she started the week after, you still got 120 days.
Gotcha.
You've got percolation tests to perform. You got a filing with the Conservation Commission. We don't know at this point whether or not they're going to have to do a sieve analysis so they can get a conventional perk in there.
Okay.
My recollection, your whole front yard was septic system. So she's got,
Front yard's leaching field.
yeah, so,
With the reserve area, though. On the plan, there is a reserve in the front yard.
Yes, there is.
So,
yeah, but is it can't be, it's not a 1995 plan.
no.
Okay, so, 120 days.
Okay.
120 days from when you start digging the hole. You know, probably about 120 days
Before we start?
before you're gonna get an approved plan, because,
Okay.
you know, you schedule a perk test. Once a perk test is done, you're gonna have 30 days before you get a plan. It needs to come back to us, back and forth. They need to file with conservation. The fund process is fairly simple. We make a vote, it goes to the treasurer collector, and not the treasurer, the treasurer. No,
Accountant, yeah.
the town accountant. Goes to the town accountant, she makes sure that there's enough money, we authorize it. That's it.
Boom. And the system itself, you know, but
Couple days.
compared to 120 days, like a week to install a system.
Yeah.
It takes that much time to get it to the install process, yeah.
Well, good luck with everything.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
No, just thanks for coming in. I know it was impromptu and it should have been on the agenda, but I thought it was important for you guys.
Yeah, okay, thank you. I will thank you. How's that?
All set.
Thank you.
Okay. So what about the tobacco shop discussion? Have those,
I noticed they're working in that building. Have they already started transforming?
Not specifically for the tobacco shop.
Okay.
What they did was just put a dividing wall in the retail space that was already available, so that there'll be 2 potential units in that building.
Okay.
What they are is to be determined.
Okay.
okay, so they haven't picked up a copy of regs from us?
The
The people that were in here a couple weeks ago?
Yes, they did come in, they had a meeting with me, they're drawing out their floor plans. He was very sick and is just feeling better today, so couldn't make it in. He'd like to be on for the next meeting.
Yeah, okay.
Bob, just caution them. I think there was some question as to whether or not our application, and we can review this, covered what they wanted to do. Does our application?
What we did was we took the full state guidance and made up an application, because we've never had a tobacco shop before, so we incorporated what we have for regs in the state.
Okay. And you're gonna come up with a fee,
Yep,
and I'm gonna suggest you to notify them that this board's not gonna issue any sort of a license until they get a site plan.
right.
Okay.
Yep, he's fully
I
aware
know
of that.
they were anxious the last time, and I did see the road administrators like Steve, so I didn't know if they were in there fixing it already.
Yep.
So do we need to, you're comfortable with this application?
Yes,
Fees.
we could use, we don't have a specific fee.
You gave
for
us
just
fees.
a tobacco store. No.
Well, you
We can
have,
use a fee that we already have in place. Same as any retail
Any other retail establishment?
establishment.
what are we charging in the liquor stores?
And that's all by square footage. It's by square footage. 500 square feet, $50. 50 to 1,000 square feet, $100.
Okay.
1,000 to 10,000, $200.
Fine. we'll go
Okay,
with
that's
that.
fine. So you'll use whatever appropriate
So
fees.
that's what I figured would work.
And they're gonna bring you a floor plan with square footage anyways.
Exactly.
The only thing, Bob, too, is make sure that we don't need, any sort of special hearing. I don't believe we needed a hearing for any of the, liquor store and the rest of those, so as long as we can, we might have to put a public notice in, but I don't know if there's gonna be a public hearing. Just double check on that, make sure we meet those regulations, if there are any.
Okay? All right. Is someone gonna be at the town meeting?
Yes, I'll do that. So
Yeah,
if the
we'll
board
have
so
that.
see fits, I'll answer any questions. They went over the warrant last night. There's a clothing allowance for $300, and then in one of the line items, there's the step raises. So I'll be at town meeting, so if you want to handle that.
Okay. Okay. COVID update, Bob?
Okay. We'll start with Halifax is actually in the yellow.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, we were down for the second 2-week run rate in a row, so that's 4 weeks going down at 3.56. So things are moving in a positive direction there, and I truly believe come next week, they can even move further into the positive direction because Bridgewater State College was approved as a vaccination site. So, we just posted on the town's Facebook pages that starting Monday, they're going to have the Pfizer vaccine open to the public, which puts the vaccination site well within a close distance. Hopefully within another week or two, we might even be able to open up a small site, 100-dose type thing here in town. But for right now, I'm very optimistic that if people continue to keep getting vaccinated, we're going to see a lot of progress moving forward in our fight against this pandemic.
Now, is there any senior busing, for lack of a better phrase, like to get our older residents over to the Bridgewater? Is there anything being set up by the Council on Aging?
Well, we can, look into that again. We already did our own vaccination clinics.
Did we
through the
get most
Council
of
on
them be a
Aging.
thing?
To our knowledge, everybody who met the requirement at age 75 and 65 was able
Okay.
to get vaccinated here. We did do all the homebounds, both for this town and for Plimpton, because Plimpton wasn't able to, work it, so. we
So
used
basically,
our-
everybody left should be mobile and
It
able.
should be mobile, but certainly reach out to me, and if I gotta find a way to get them there, I can get them there. One way or another.
Steve, just to add to that, that's one of the, and we did some stuff in phases. We did the public safety officers, and then the next phase was the elderly, because I know I spoke with the people at the mobile home park, and then they were instructed, and they contacted Council of Aging, and Sue Lawless did a great job with coordinating those people at the park and those other people that came to the senior center. And I know that she was on the phone calling people. I don't know, Bob can maybe tell me how many they did, but, you know, having been at the station, there was a
It was
bunch.
over 400, I mean, you
Yeah,
know.
because we did a count on what we thought was going to be the population from 65 and above, and I think, in speaking with the lady that runs the park, and doing the rest of the numbers on Council on Aging, I think we figured we had about 400 people that were between 65 and 75, 65, the maximum.
Yeah, I knew that one, I just didn't know if there was an amount of people still left that, you know, and if there was any,
I guess
know.
Bob can verify
I
this.
did-
Anybody that it was made available, if they wanted it,
they got it.
they could get it.
And, I mean, you know, Walmart, I was working with Walmart because, you know, they hadn't brought a vaccine to town yet, so fortunately, they're running a clinic this week with 300 doses. Stop and Shop is still running theirs. Appointments seem to be opening up much more readily. So,
Yeah, I mean, I was able to get one in Pembroke the other night fairly easily.
right. You know, the vaccine is out there now. The frustrations that were in the whole registration process won't be gone, but they have been, you know, diminished, minimalized. And the location at Bridgewater State College is going to be in the University Kelly Gymnasium at 34 Park Avenue. And you just go onto their site and you go onto their site starting Friday. And they're going to be open on Monday.
John, I got another question for him, if you don't mind. Where are we as far as gathering limits? I know that we had a change last week for the large outdoor gatherings. Has that changed for our inside gatherings? Are we still limited per square footage, number of people?
Well, limited, but it has gone up. Like the capacity in this room right now will be 24.
Okay, so that's
Where
still...
we were at 12. And that's going to change again on the 29th. So, as we keep going forward, those capacity limits do keep changing, both indoors and outdoors.
Now, with that being said, and the governor saying that masks don't have to be worn outside if you can keep your social distancing, am I understanding that properly? So,
Keyword, yes, if you can keep your social distancing.
well, so who makes the decision? So, apparently maybe it's not the Board of Health. So my boys are in baseball, and I know baseball doesn't allow that. We all still have to wear masks. Is that the Board of Health that decides to loosen up at the fields, or is that the baseball themselves?
Well, right now, the sports are a different category. They're looking into
Okay,
getting
all
rid of
right, I just want to make sure I understood it.
sports, exactly.
Okay.
I'll tell you, for my position, I'll have somebody wear a mask until the point where they're not comfortable. I'm comfortable with them not wearing a mask
Okay.
within 6 feet, or the state says it's A-okay. So,
Alright.
masks are on unless you're outside, unless you know you're being 6 feet apart. Going for a walk, take off your mask. You're at a baseball game, your mask is on.
But isn't it a fact, though, that when you're gonna have a large event, those individuals have to come in with a plan?
Yes,
So in that plan, Steve, they could say, we're gonna social distance with no mask, or we're gonna mask required.
right. Well, so, for example, we'll have Fields and Horse Show.
Correct.
That's starting next week, yeah, on the 10th. I met today with their safety department, and the first question was, what about masks? I said, if you want the show, you're going to wear masks. Everybody, so they are going to have masks on for their, except for a person riding in the ring, on the horse or whatever, but their trainer, person next to them, anybody out of food, everybody's having masks.
And it's up to the representative, whoever's holding that show, for compliance. Yeah.
Yes, it is, and they do have a full security force. They do full check-ins at the very beginning. They're counting how many people will be there, because they will be able to have a very limited number of spectators. Last year they had 0. But right now, with a large outdoor event, they are allowed 100.
Now, is that something you have to check in to make sure of compliance, or just kind of?
Yeah, last year, I visited them at least once a day throughout each event. Whether it be make sure that the food trucks are safe or what was going on in general.
Okay.
Nobody knew me from a hole in the wall, so except for when I went in the front door. And I've also got some eyes and ears that are in there that aren't paid by the event, so.
Gotcha.
Okay. You do the permits? I'll read them. Scott Clausen, Fieldstone Show Park, 2021 Horse Show, large outdoor event, May 12th through 16th and 19th through 23rd, June 5 and 6, 23 through 27 and 30th, July 1 through July 3rd and 7 through 11, August 18th through the 22nd and the 24th through the 29th, and September 8th to the 12th, 2021. All documents have been submitted. Halifax Meadows Continental Pool LLC, 2021 pool permit. Kerry Goodwin, J&J's Sunday Express, 2021 seasonal permit. Loopy's Espresso and Crepe Cart, 2021 mobile food permit at Fieldstone Show Park. 5/12/21 through 5/23/21 and 8/18/21 through 8/23/21. Joseph D. Francesco, Just the Dip, 2021 mobile food day permit at Rockland Trust Bank, Associate Apprenticeship Day on 6/25/21, Appreciation Day. Michael Wood, Blackbrook General Contracting, 2021 septic installers permit. Antonio Caponegro, Tony Caponegro Inspectional Services, 2021 Title V Inspectors Permit. Jason Haskell, All Clear Septic, 2021 Title V Inspectors Permit.
Chairman, I'll move the permits as read.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, if there's
And
no
that
further
is-
business, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.